Welcome back to If I Knew Then, the podcast where we explore the pivotal moments that change everything. I'm your host, Andre.
And I'm Sophia.
And I'm Sophia.
And normally, this is the part where we introduce a guest, an entrepreneur, an artist, a scientist, someone who has navigated a massive life change and has the wisdom and the scars to prove it.
Right. We dive into these incredible stories of resilience and discovery. But today, our story is a little smaller, and the guest is, well, he's 7.
He is, and he won't be joining us on the mic, but for the last 2 weeks, he has been the absolute center of our universe.
He really has. So we thought we'd do something different today and turn the lens on ourselves. We want to talk about our experience hosting my nephew, Gabriel.
Because if ever there was a before and after moment for us, this was it. And the If I Knew Then it's still echoing in this very, very quiet house.
The quiet is deafening, isn't it? It's only been 2 days since he left, and it feels like the whole house is holding its breath.
It really does. Let's go back to the beginning. The day before he arrived. Our house. Our life. What did it look like?
It looked pristine, honestly. I went into this overdrive cleaning and organizing mode. I think I was trying to control what I knew would soon be uncontrollable. I had visions of sticky fingerprints on every surface. So I wiped down every wall. I organized the pantry with snacks at a 7-year-old's eye level. I curated a little library for him in the guest room.
You were building a contained, manageable childhood experience. Meanwhile, I was doing risk assessment, hiding lamps, taping down cords, moving the good speakers out of the splash zone of any potential juice boxes.
The splash zone.
I was treating it like we were preparing for a natural disaster. Hurricane Gabriel, Category 5.
And we thought we were so ready, and then the doorbell rings, and this little ball of pure, unfiltered energy just explodes into our hallway, dragging a T-Rex suitcase and already asking if we have Wi-Fi and what kind of cereal we have.
At the same time, the same sentence. Do you have Wi-Fi? What kind of cereal do you have? No punctuation, just pure stream of consciousness.
Exactly. And the first 48 hours were a blur. I don't think I sat down once. It was just a constant barrage of needs and questions and noise.
So much noise. Not just talking, but humming. And little sound effects for every action. A pew-pew when he picked up a toy. A vroom when he ran down the hall. Our quiet adult sanctuary became a soundstage for a one-man action movie.
Do you remember the great pizza for breakfast debate on his first morning?
Oh, how could I forget? I came out to the kitchen, ready to make my usual boring oatmeal, and Gabriel is sitting at the table, looking at me with the most serious expression, and he says, I have a proposal.
A proposal?
Yes, a formal proposal, that we eat the leftover pizza from the night before. And I said, Buddy, that's not really breakfast food. And he just looks at me, completely deadpan, and says, Pizza has bread, that's like toast. It has cheese, that's dairy. It has tomatoes, that's a fruit. He had a full logical argument prepared.
He did. I was so impressed, I almost gave in. We compromised on pancakes, but it was a hard-fought negotiation.
It was. And that was our life for a few days. We were managers, scheduling park trips, museum visits, play dates. We were just trying to keep him occupied, to tire him out. It felt like a job, a fun job, but a job.
It did. But then something started to shift. We moved from managing him to just being with him. What was the moment for you?
It was that rainy Tuesday. I think about it a lot. We were all stuck inside, and he pulls out that giant 1,000-piece puzzle of the solar system we've had for ages.
The one my dad gave us that we called Too Ambitious.
Too ambitious, exactly. He dumps it all out on the living room rug. And for the next 3 hours, that's all we did. We didn't talk much. It was just the sound of pieces clicking, his little hum of concentration. He wasn't asking for anything. He wasn't demanding to be entertained. He just wanted us there, with him, trying to build the universe on our floor. I remember looking at you, and you had this smear of dust on your cheek, and you were so focused on finding a piece of Jupiter's storm. And I looked at him, and his tongue was sticking out. And I thought, this is it. This is the magic. It's not in the grand outings. It's here, on the floor, in the quiet.
The quiet moments are where he really let us in. For me, it was the night he couldn't sleep. He told me he was worried the stars were lonely.
You told me that. It's just such a heartbreakingly beautiful thought.
Isn't it? So we went out on the balcony, and I was ready to give him the scientific explanation, you know? Well, actually, they're giant balls of gas millions of miles apart. But I stopped myself, and I just asked him what he thought.
And what did he say?
Oh, he had a whole mythology worked out. He told me the Big Dipper was a family, and the dad was the one at the end of the handle, leading them. And Orion wasn't a hunter, he was a cosmic librarian, and the stars in his belt were his 3 favorite books.
A cosmic librarian. I love that.
He just saw connection and story everywhere, and it made me realize how much of that we lose. We stop making up stories. We just accept the explanation we're given. He reminded me that there's always another story to tell, that wonder is a choice.
It is a choice. He turned our whole world into a story. Our backyard wasn't a backyard. It was the forgotten jungle of the Gigantosaurus. The laundry chute wasn't a laundry chute. It was a secret escape hatch. He re-enchanted our very boring, very adult life.
And then he was gone. I woke up that morning after we dropped him off, and the silence was heavy. It was a physical presence in the house.
It was. I went to make coffee, and I automatically made too much. My body was still operating on the logic of a 3-person household.
I know, and I kept listening for the sound of cartoons or the thud of him jumping off the couch, which we told him 100 times not to do.
100 times.
And I miss it. I actually miss telling him not to jump off the couch. How ridiculous is that?
Not ridiculous at all. I found his little green army man under a cushion yesterday, the one he called Sergeant Stompy, and I broke down a little, holding this tiny piece of plastic, because it felt like the only proof that this whirlwind of joy had actually been here.
It felt like a dream, didn't it? A really chaotic, beautiful, exhausting dream. It changed me. It changed us, too, I think. Seeing you with him.
Yeah?
You have this deep, quiet patience that I've always loved, but seeing you use it to explain why we can't keep a frog we found in the garden as a pet, or sitting with him on the floor trying to get a Lego spaceship just right, it made me fall in love with you a little bit all over again.
Wow. Well, right back at you. Seeing you let go of the schedule, of the need for everything to be tidy, and just sit on the balcony and talk about lonely stars. You were so present, so completely in his world. It was beautiful.
It's funny. We thought we were the adults, the ones teaching him things, but he taught us so much more.
So much. Which brings us back to it. The whole point of this show, if I knew then what I know now.
What is it for you?
If I knew then how temporary it all was, that 2 weeks would feel like a lifetime, and also the blink of an eye, I would have savored the mess more. I would have been less eager to tidy up the Legos at the end of the day, because the mess was the evidence of a life being lived so fully. I would have cherished the noise instead of just enduring it. What about you?
If I knew then how deeply my heart was going to get involved, how much a 7-year-old could wedge himself in there, I would have surrendered to it sooner. I spent the first few days trying to maintain a little bit of distance, to be the cool aunt. But what he needed and what I needed was just connection, pure, unconditional love. And if I knew how much it was going to ache when he left, I would have known it was because the joy was just that potent. The ache is just the echo of the love, and I would sign up for that ache again in a heartbeat.
The echo of the love. That's it exactly.
The house is quiet now, but our world feels bigger, more colorful. He left fingerprints, not on the walls, but on our souls, I think.
Cheesy, but true. He absolutely did. So, to our listeners, thank you for indulging us in a more personal story today. We hope that maybe it reminds you to look for the wonder in your own lives, in the small, quiet moments.
Find the cosmic librarians in your own sky.
Well said. Join us next week when we get back to our regular programming with an incredible guest who built an empire from nothing.
Until then, I'm Sophia.
And I'm Andre. Thanks for listening to If I Knew Then.